Good evening and welcome to our fourth local elections debate. My name is Vuyo Mvoko. Tonight we're coming to you live from Mafikeng in the Northwest. This debate, of course, brought to you by the SABC in partnership with the University of Johannesburg. And our topic for this evening is municipal governance in distress. Well, exactly what do we mean by municipalities in distress, you ask? Well, these are municipalities that are facing some of the most serious problems you can get in local government today. The municipalities have some of the highest levels of mismanagement, corruption, and fraud. These municipalities tend to disregard procurement procedures. There are poor levels of public participation. Vacancies aren't filled, and morale among workers is generally poor. Some of them simply cannot function because of some unresolved political and administrative squabbles. In fact, in some municipalities, some people have died. Now, no less than 21 South African municipalities fall in this category. The Northwest, with 5, has a disproportionate number of these kinds of councils. And Mafikeng, from where we are broadcasting this evening, is one of them. Now, let me introduce you to our panel for this evening that's going to help us deal with this topic. On the far left is Mr. Supra Mahumapilo, who's the provincial chairperson of the ANC. Next to him is Ms. Mavis Matladi from the United Christian Democratic Party. And on my right is the Freedom Plus represented this evening by the provincial chairperson, Mr. Peter Groenewald. Next to him is Karin Fesser, who will be stating the case for the Sannieshof Ratepayers and Residents Association. And of course, last but not least, we have Mr. Rakale Mwako, who is from the University of the Northwest. And he is our resident analyst. Let me start with the ANC, Mr. Mahumapelo. Municipalities in distress. Why, in the ANC's view, do we still have... And may I also add, perhaps, that the great majority of the 21 municipalities that are in distress are, in fact, ANC municipalities.
As we speak today, the people of the Northwest throughout all the municipalities receive water. The people of the Northwest throughout the province, refuse removal is being collected as expected. The people of the Northwest are working together with our local governments to make sure that they create jobs. The people of the Northwest are working with the local government municipalities led by the ANC to make sure that we clean our streets. We are also working together with our people to make sure that on a continuous basis we feedback them on the progress we are making regarding water provision. On a regular basis, as the African National Congress, we listen to our people on the complaints they have about the quality of service delivery we may be delivering. Since 1994, we have provided an opportunity to our people to participate in free democratic elections so that the people themselves can participate in determining their destination through democratic processes. We are working together with our people to make sure that we stop crime wherever it exists throughout the province.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mahumapelo. Ms. Matladi.
The United Christian Democratic Party goes to the local government elections with a slogan for affordable, dependable service delivery, vote UCDP. UCDP has got a history of good service delivery to our communities, education system which is good and affordable, dependable health system, well-developed and maintained infrastructure, safety and security that is unfailing, economic growth, dependable and productive agricultural practice, and above all, well-trained human resource or public service. These are based on the 5 principles of the party, that is to love, to serve, to respect, to tolerate, and consult mankind. We do see the problems of local government in South Africa, where we have 64 municipalities that have been in the financial distress since 2009. And there are problems that are resulting into this, including lack of human resources, slowness in bringing to power gender equity, insufficient municipal capacity, poor financial management, corruption, and service delivery delays are among the challenges facing local governments.
Thank you very much. I've got to stop you there. Your time is up. Mr. Groenewald, your opening remarks.
Well, firstly, I want to say that the theme, namely local government in distress, is the understatement of the year. It should have read local government in crisis. You know, if local government was a patient, it would have been in the intensive care unit. And it's got the virus. And that virus is called the ANC virus. It is killing local government. Why do I say so? I say so firstly, there are at least 48 municipalities under administration. Why? They are dysfunctional. Why do we have the special investigation unit investigating the municipalities in Northwest? It's mismanagement by the political masters, the ANC virus. The other problem is that they have a capital budget, but they can't spend it because they don't know how to spend that capital budget. They have to give the money back to the treasurer because of the incompetence. That is why we say that it is in crisis. And if we don't sort out and cut out the ANC virus, it's going to die. Thank you.
Thank you. Karen Foster.
Thank you. The people of Sunnyzorf decided that the ANC had failed the citizens of South Africa. It infringed our constitutional human rights. And tonight I want to challenge President Zuma to take charge, to turn it around. I dare the President to resolve the issues we have on hand. I dare him to come and look at citizens living without water since 2003. I dare him to say what you have on the back of your T-shirts, that together we can build better communities. I am sorry, again it's another promise that will never take place, because the ANC is only available to make promises but not to deliver. They failed in the turnaround strategy that they tried to implement in Tshwane municipality. Not the premiers, not the national Kochta, not the president's office, nobody could help us to turn it around because they are incompetent.
Mr. Mwako.
Thank you, Vuyo.
What these political party leaders have said.
Thank you, Vuyo. I think if we look at the local government from 2004, that's when we seen the protest. But however, we need to understand that in terms of the government, I think the government has done extremely well in terms of establishing the local government system. And again, we need to look at the challenges, again, that the government has in terms of the protesting that have been in our municipality, because they show frustration. Because they show frustration in terms of that they feel that the municipalities, the government is not doing enough in terms of giving basic services to them. So listening to the ANC chairperson, he talks about how the government, the ANC in the Northwest have provided water and electricity, and then that they are going to make sure that in the coming elections they are giving feedback to the people. And then when you look at the UCDP, they talk about that it's all about the municipality is not good. They've not done anything since 1994. And if you look again in terms of Freedom Front Plus, they talk about bad management in the ANC. And then when you listen to the Sunnis of ratepayers union, you know they have always been refusing to pay taxes. So in terms of these issues, we need to understand that if we talk about the ideal municipality and the importance of local municipality, we need all the participation, we need all the political parties to make sure that they build the stronger municipalities.
Thank you very much. Well, we're going to take a very short break, but before we go, a reminder to you at home and to our SAFM listeners that you can take part in this debate by sending us your email or SMS. SMS the word elect followed by your message to 33726. Your message starting with the word elect followed by your message 33726. SMS is cost R1.50, and our email address of course is elections@sabc.co.za. Stay with us.
Brand new double HP status fragrance, Salute. I've dedicated this fragrance not only to my son, but to all the fathers and sons out there. I hope that one day when our sons smell this fragrance, they remember their father not only as a provider, but as a friend. The rock who was always there for him. The father who never ever let him down. That's respect.
Status deodorant. It's about respect.
Dry cough, wet cough, sore throat, triple action Vicks Actor Plus. We help soothe your family's cold and flu coughs. But we can't help with snoring.
Oh yeah.
I tried so many stretch mark products, so I was pretty reluctant to try bio oil. But now I really wish I'd tried it earlier, and I'm telling everyone I know about it.
Bio oil helps improve the appearance of scars and stretch marks.
If you just tuned in, you're watching a special election debate, and the topic tonight is municipal governance in distress. We're coming to you live from Mafeking in the Northwest, and you can also follow this debate on SAFM and on sabcnews.com. The debate series, of course, brought to you by the SABC in partnership with the University of Johannesburg. Before I give the part, I will ask specific questions to the party. Let's first hear what some of our viewers and listeners had to say about service delivery in their municipalities.
I'm not happy because we are not working in this town. And every time when you ask the municipality, you must do that, you must do that. Then he said, all right. But go look under that trees, a lot of them sleeping. That is get money from Allah.
Few people are employed at the municipality through ward councillors, but the only challenge that we are having is the potholes, the roads. That's a big challenge that we are facing right now.
They don't fix the roads, they don't do nothing. Even lights, there's no lights in our street, nothing. They don't clean properly where the dirt is, they don't clean it, nothing.
As you can see now, on this day of interview, you can see for yourself all the dirt bags are still in the street that was supposed to be picked up this morning. And it's already 3 o'clock and there's still nothing, and then the The roads are in quite a state. You can see it for yourself.
The roads full of potholes, it damages our cars. We have to spend our own money to fix the car. When you claim, they give you a long story.
Mr. Maumapilo, I'm sure the ANC is not surprised. I think the question to be asked is, for how long should our people continue to talk the way they talk?
In the first
They are
place,
very unhappy. That is pretty much clear.
as we speak today, 2.5 million people in South Africa have got access to housing. And that housing is covering over 10 million people. As we speak today, 6 million people have got access to water. We have been talking to our people, listening to the demands of our people, and working together with our people. We have agreed that we are going to make sure that there is water provision, there is houses, as I have said. And we are committing ourselves in the manifesto that we are going to intensify our consultation more with our people, because from 1994 until where we are today, as you go throughout the country, there are many, many millions of our people who are saying are happy, but they are also saying to the ANC, please do more, please accelerate more, so that we can get the services that we are looking for.
I hear what you're saying, and I don't think anybody will dispute that. I think those facts speak for themselves. But I just want to bring you back to tonight's topic. We're talking about municipalities in distress. We're saying the Northwest, where you are the provincial leader of the African National Congress, has a disproportionate number of municipalities that are in distress. Mafikeng, where we're broadcasting from, is one such municipality. In other words, these are the worst of the bunch. We're saying, what is being done to deal with that question? Municipalities that are bad examples of governance in this country.
The provincial government, local government, working together with the national government, made an assessment of the situation throughout our municipalities in the province and agreed on an intervention strategy. That intervention strategy has been welcomed by all our people. They know that working together with their own government, indeed, they are going to get what they have requested their government to do. Whether it's the provision of water, whether it's cleaning, whether it's dealing with crime, whether it's building of the houses and so on and so on. That is why people are still in the ANC and they are not going to vote for other parties.
Thank you very much. Ms. McLeod. It's interesting. I mean, your party has contested elections from day one, from the very first election. Why, if the ANC is as failing as you say it is, why is it difficult for people to come to your party in large numbers? Why aren't you running Mafikeng?
It is a very straightforward question you are asking. The answer I can give is, our people are threatened by being told, if you join and vote for UCDP, you won't get pensions, you won't get jobs, and because of this grant, that is why especially our old citizens are afraid to vote for an opposition party. But I need to say, for other reasons that have been given by Honorable Maumapilo, it is on the 16th of March when Mandla Mandela, the MP for ANC, accepted the fact that ANC has failed to deliver services to the masses. And also, Honorable Trevor Manuel, the Minister of National Planning and Development in the President's office, has acceded in News 24 on Tuesday that ANC has failed to give supply decent service delivery.
Mr. Kroonewald, you said earlier that to say municipalities are in distress is an understatement. What, if the people were to vote for you, what would you do to turn the situation around? I don't want you to restate the problem, because I think you've done that fairly eloquently. but what would you do to turn things around so that this municipality, Mafikeng, and the other 5 provinces that are in a worse-off situation, this situation is actually not repeated?
Well, it's actually quite simple. The first thing the Freedom Front Plus would have done is to get rid of incompetency. Because if you don't have competent officials who can ensure that there is service delivery, then there is no service delivery. Secondly, we would ensure that political decisions does not interfere with top management. What is the problem with local government? You get politicians from the street, they know nothing about management, never mind the management of local government. You need experts to manage a local government. They interfere too much, and they want their political views to be ensured, to be put through by the officials. That is wrong. That is why I say that municipal or local government is in a crisis. The other aspect is, you know, the outstanding payments for local government at this stage is 59 billion rand. The total police budget is 58 billion. So if people pay for those services they can afford, we could have another police service and we could even fight crime better. So if you do those things, you will get local government on course to ensure service delivery to the people.
Current Minister, explain to us what the Ratepayers Association is trying to do.
We tried to save a town with all its inhabitants living there. We were days without water. Sewage were running down the streets. There was no management. We suffered for more than 5 years in spite of using all the channels of communication to try and rectify it. Nobody could help us.
Okay, what have you done to put
we
pressure
started
on political parties?
After we spoke to the executive committee, after we spoke to them and said we didn't have water, they said, well, they didn't have money to repair our water. So we went and we said then, well, you don't leave us any choice but to withhold the money and to rectify the water pumps. So we went in and for 12,300 rand we provided water for Sanizov, Achisanang and Pelindaba for all the ANC.
But is it correct to do that though? Is it correct to withhold payments to a municipality?
Pardon?
Is it correct to withhold payments from a municipality?
You know what? If you have to do it, if you have to survive, and if they ignore the situation between life and death of having water and having no water, you have to do something. And then...
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I understand you're also a candidate standing for election on a DA card.
I can't hear you.
You're also a candidate for the DA.
Yes.
For this election.
Yes.
Now, but isn't your association representing people from other political parties as well?
For sure. We have ANC people in the Sanizov Ratepayers Association.
How different, if you criticize the ANC for turning a blind eye to its own people who may be doing wrongs, how then do you justify the fact that you have people from other political parties but who are accusing you of actually hijacking the Ratepayers Association when in fact you're standing on a DA card? Because let me tell you why this is an issue for me, which I think it should be an issue for a lot of people. Because a lot of what has happened over the past couple of years in this country has been intra-party violence, fights where other people even die. Mayors, deputy mayors have died across the country, allegedly because of infighting within and among parties. Now, to what extent are you then being a responsible person by making sure that you do not hijack, so to speak, the grievances of local residents, when in fact you are working for a political party? Well, I think it's a very relevant issue.
Okay, you know what? We did it for all the people. All the people that lived there, ANC included, benefited from the action. We did not exclude anybody of any services because we are humans and we fought for human rights, because the ANC directly contributed to the infringement of our constitutional human rights. So that's why we had to do what we did. In spite of the fact that I said they accused us of causing a parallel, there was nothing. There was no parallel. They were absent totally in governance.
Thank you very much. Mr. Mwako, I want to sum it up in a minute. In a minute. Having listened to what the opposition parties have to say, having listened to what the ANC had to say, what for you is the real issue, is the nub of the problem?
I think the real issue is the frustration that the people are having, basically living in the ground. Because if you look at the importance of the local government, is to make sure that we have a reconstruction and the development effort, which will be accountability, which will make sure that we have an effective and efficient system in the country. But if you look at the recent issues, looking at what Sanisova is saying, ethically what they are doing is right, but constitutionally it's wrong. Because you can't withhold ratepayers' money, because that money should be help the communities. Because if you don't pay for the municipality, the rates and other things, it means that people who are staying in the townships will be suffering. Because basically in Sanisov, it's only Sanisov will be having Ottosdal, will be having all these towns, which are basically, if they do this, it's not building the nation, we are not building a nation. Will be dividing these issues, because they will feel that, the people will feel that these issues are still happening. Why are they not paying municipal rates? So that's the only problem that the country will be having problem with.
So irrespective of the reasons behind it, it's a phenomenon that should be discouraged.
Yeah, it's basic, as I said, it's constitutionally wrong. Even though they went to the municipality, they declared a dispute with the municipality. And then they say they are legitimate to do that. But if in terms of how they are doing it, it's really not correct.
Okay. Let's take a few questions from the floor. Question from the DA.
Okay, my name is Ronald Mathola from the DA. My question will be posed to Karin Fesser. My question would be, how will the DA turn a state of non-service delivery into service delivery for all people? How will the DA be able to make this state of municipalities who are non-service delivery into service delivery?
Thank you.
For all the people.
There's a question there from the Freedom Front Plus.
I also want to ask a question to the Freedom Front Plus. Will the Freedom Front Plus work together with the opposition parties to keep the ANC out of governance?
Thank you. Question noted. Question from the ANC.
My name is Rami Butwe. I'm from Tswai municipality. My question is directed. My question is directed to the leadership of ANC from the powerful comrade Supra Mahuma Pelo. And it is based in the manifesto of the organization. The ANC has recently launched its manifesto, and I would wish the comrade to explain to the audience that what does the ANC mean when it says together we can build a better communities. And I would also want the chairperson to relate in the call in particular by the Ratepayers Association, that in most cases in the Northwest Province, the influx into our municipalities, it is from the farm workers that has been dismissed and evicted from their farms by the farmers to the communities, and therefore cost the municipal budget.
Thank you. Well, we're going to take a very quick break. To our viewers and listeners at home, thank you for your emails and SMSs. We're going to read some of them after the break. Please, if you still want to communicate with us, SMS the word elect, followed by your message to 33726. SMS is cost 150. Our email address, elections@sabc.co.za. Don't go away.
goodness of the Sasco bread range. And you could win a state-of-the-art treadmill. Simply buy any of these Sasco breads and SMS Sasco, your name and the last 4 digits of the barcode to 42864. Remember, share the goodness.
Impossible to get an autograph. I'll get it.
There's nothing impossible if you have a hero inside. Now there's a hero inside new Omo Multi-Active. Its max clean particles remove tough dried-in stains in one swift step. No more scrubbing and rubbing with bars.
You're my hero.
Omo, dirt is good.
Do you have a funeral policy?
They are my world. Who would I call if I lost them?
In difficult times, with difficult questions, AVBOB is the answer. If you want AVBOB to contact you, SMS TV and your name to 41790.
Welcome back to this special election debate on municipal governance in distress. We're coming to you live from Mafeking in the Northwest, and you can also follow the debate on SAFM or sabcnews.com. The debate series, of course, is brought to you by the SABC in association with the University of Johannesburg. Before I allow the leaders who were asked questions to respond, can I take the last question from the UCDP?
Hello. The topic tonight is municipalities in distress. Long-term distress leads to death. So municipalities are no more in distress, they are dead. My question is, how is the UCDP going to resuscitate the municipalities for the best life of the human beings in South Africa? The lives of our children, the life of our, even the animals in South Africa.
Thank you.
Thank you.
ANC, you have 1 minute.
An example of our commitment to work together with our people at all times will include the fact that we have now extended a child support grant to children who are less than 18 years. This will add 2 extra million children who are going to have access to this grant. They have never in the past had access to this. The second one, we have said that the doors of learning and culture shall be open to all. We have made sure that many of our children, over 8 million children at primary and secondary school level, have access to education. In the past, they have never had this access to education. Thirdly, we have said that, yes, we have delivered, yes, we have done everything in our power to bring what our people want, but more still needs to be done. That's why we are saying that we are going to strengthen the relationship between local government, provincial government, national government, working with our people to make sure that all the indications we have made in our manifesto are met.
I think the last question was to you, Ms. Matabi.
The United Christian Democratic Party will be governing municipalities in a way that would uproot the wrong way of appointing people in offices based on relationships. It will look into uprooting corruption, especially of awarding tenders in municipalities. UCDP would also look into working together with traditional leaders and religious leaders in to see that municipalities are run in a fair and productive manner. And UCDP says, for all things including crime, like stock theft in our rural areas, we need to support rural municipalities by giving them resources so that they would be able to be sustainable.
Thank you. There was no question directed at you, was it?
Yes. Let me put it quite clearly. The Freedom Front's policy is that in those municipalities where the opposition parties can ensure that the ANC is not in government, we will work together with the opposition parties. In fact, if it was not for the Freedom Front Plus, Helen Zille would have never been the mayor of Cape Town. She needed the vote of the Freedom Front Plus. And I can assure you that in the whole Northwest, there's not one single municipality the DA will be able to win on its own. It will need the other opposition parties. Said that, I want to say, I'm disappointed with Karin Visser. Karin Visser is representing a taxpayers association. It's supposed to be a non-political organization. The moment she became a candidate, she politicized the matter. There are members of the Freedom Front Plus who are members of the Sannieshof Payers Association. She must make a decision. Don't misuse the organization as a smokescreen for the benefit of the DA. It's wrong. It's not to the benefit of local government. It is detrimental.
Okay, first, the DA in government is proven. If you compare cities like Cape Town and Johannesburg, there's no comparison. It is documented that the DA, where they govern better than the ANC. In regard to what Mr. Groenewald next to me said is yes, we are a non-political, apolitical organization, but we decided that we cannot continue to go on that way. We have to come into government, local government, to see that things go better. And for that reason, the citizens of Sannieshof decided to turn to the DA. If we take over, if we're in a position of governance, we will immediately appoint people fit for purpose, who are skilled and trained. We will immediately improve the financial status by improving revenue collection and expenditure management. We will reinstate discipline and control and have no tolerance of cases of fraud and corruption. Yes, we withheld money to save the money from fraudulent officials in the ANC governance to deliver services to the people.
Now, before I come to you, Mr. Nwako, I just want to ask a very quick question to you, Mr. Groenewald. Where were you when the DA, as you allege, hijacked the Ratepayers organization?
Say that again?
Where were you when the DA hijacked the Ratepayers Association?
If I understand you correctly, and I heard the question very poorly, you're asking where were we when the DA formed the Ratepayers Association?
No, I'm saying, if you say there are Freedom Front Plus members in her Ratepayers Association, where were you when the DA hijacked, as you said, the Ratepayers Association?
Oh. Where were we? No, I don't understand exactly what you mean by that, but the fact of the matter is that when the Ratepayers Association of Sannieshof was established, members of the Freedom Front Plus became members of that association. They were part of that. Ms. Karin Visser, in fact, said that she's going to be a DA candidate. Then she must resign. Because, I want to say it quite clearly, there is a place for ratepayers associations on a non-political basis. And the reason why I say so, they have specific interests to promote. But the problem is, the moment Karin Visser is going to become a member of the council, and she instigates people to not pay their taxes, they're going to expel her because she breached the code of conduct. It's as simple as that.
Now, Mr. Nwako, there's something I find rather interesting, that political parties always talk about the ANC and what it's doing wrong and what needs to be fixed. But seldom, if ever, do they look among themselves at the sort of things that, in my view, should be doing. I mean, Mr. Kronewald is here. He says there are members of his political party that are in the Ratepayers Association, but they're not giving any direction to the Ratepayers Association. He seems to have a problem with some of the things that the Ratepayers Association is doing, but it's not. There's no evidence that his party is doing anything to actually call them to order if they need to be called to order. What, in your view, if you were to advise, especially the opposition parties, what are the sort of things that they should be looking at? We're not saying they should not criticize the ruling party, but what should they be doing among themselves to ensure that they strengthen the opposition, if that's what needs to happen, but also to guard against some of the things that they themselves say are actually not desired?
I think the problem with the opposition parties is the failure to meet and address the issues that are in hand. Because always, if you listen to all the statements that we'll be talking, we'll be discussing how the ANC are doing. So I think the advice will be they need to sit down to talk about this issue. Because if you look at Mr. Kronewald talked about how the ratepayers union was hijacked from them. So which means that the questions that were raised was how will the Freedom Front Plus and then the DA work together in the next municipal election. But the failure is that they cannot meet and discuss issues that are in hand, that they can advance issues of municipal in the country. So I think the issue, fella, is just coordination. They can't agree on basic issues unless they attack the ANC. So that's the only thing that is at hand now.
Now, before we take more questions from the audience, let me just read some of the Facebook responses that we are receiving. Brian Kumalo from Cape Town says, as a Cape Town resident, I'm amazed to see the DA always boasting about unqualified audits and clean administration. There's absolutely nothing on the ground that has been different. Danun is still Danun. Kailicha is still the same. And I haven't seen one significant improvement that they have done in the informal settlements. So what's the significance of unqualified audits? We don't see any results on the ground. I guess that's the same for Mid-Val. And then another message, this time from Ashley Rensbeck. Why are corrupt officials simply redeployed instead of publicly shamed and made proper public example of? Perhaps that would discourage the next thief from stealing people's money. Again, we're asking you to keep those emails and SMSs coming and all those Facebook messages coming as well. We will now take questions from the audience, but we want the couple of people going to allow to take questions. Just state your name clearly before you ask questions, and of course, questions are limited to one person only. We'll take the last two questions.
Good evening, I'm Ramon Sumutupi from Mafikeng. As residents of Mafikeng, we appreciate and accept the intervention by the provincial government in our municipalities. Specifically that we see that there's a lot of road reconstruction that is happening specifically in Mafikeng, and also that Mafikeng currently is heeding to the call by the president to create more jobs through expanded public works program. My question to the ANC is that how is the ANC going to ensure that this good work is sustained? Thank you.
Thank you. Next question, please. I said I'm only taking one more.
Good evening, South Africans. I am Midiro Peluing from UCDP. My question are based to Mem Matladi. My question says, Mem Matladi, as UCDP representation, what can you promise to make to the municipalities that are dysfunctional to become functional, especially based on service delivery, and municipal officials that are not suitably qualified for their jobs? What do you promise for the masses of South Africans? Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to take a very quick break. After the break, I'll ask the ANC and the UCDP to respond to those questions that have been asked. Keep on sending us your comments by SMS. SMS the word elect followed by a message to 33726. 33726. SMS is cost 150. Our email address elections@sabc.co.za. Elections@sabc.co.za. We'll be back after this.
Are you prepared for the worst? If you or a family member were to pass away right now, is there enough money for the funeral? At Hollard, we get you and cover you and your partner for up to 50,000 Rand for burial expenses. And to make arranging the funeral easier, we now offer you access to a car. You also have the option of your family receiving up to 1,200 Rand a month for a year after the funeral. Lastly, we offer you up to 10,000 Rand to erect a tombstone as a remembrance. SMS your name or send a please call me to 082-940-9999. That's 082-940-9999.
The face of South African business is changing. On the 1st of April, the Office of Companies and Intellectual Property Enforcement and the Companies and Intellectual Property Registration Office, or better known as CIPRO, will merge into the new Companies and Intellectual Property Commission, or CIPC. CIPC, elevating your intellectual property and your business to new heights.
Time to rise and shine. There's no tune to get me going. Oh, I need to call Paul, T-Boys, and I'm just checking. Tell the guys what the story is for tonight. Yo, now that was a party. Let's stick it onto my page and send this to my girl. Sweet dreams. What?
The Cell C F250 is the perfect phone to use on Cell C's new super fast network for only 499 Rand.
Welcome back. You're watching and listening to a special election debate on service delivery. We're coming to you live from Mafikeng in the Northwest. You can, of course, follow this debate on SAFM and sabcnews.com. Before I ask the political parties to make some concluding remarks, in addition to the other two questions that were asked of the ANC and the UCDP, just wanted to give you another question to the Freedom Front Plus. Someone who says, I'm listening with keen interest to your debate, but it disturbs me when a political representative blames the other instead of addressing the challenges faced by these dysfunctional municipalities. My take is to disband the local government as service delivery as far as reaching the needy. This is Lawrence Peter from Queenstown. If they were to win local municipality election, what will be their approach on the issue of rural development? Now, let's start with the ANC. Very quick, 30-second responses to the questions that were asked.
We are going to work together with our people to make sure that the work that is being done outside here, coming into this building, with regard to the roads, it's expanded to the rural areas, it's expanded to other urban areas, it's expanded to our informal settlement. And we will not impose to our people things that they do not need. We are going to consult because we are Democrats in the African National Congress and continue to listen to our people because we are not a government that imposes or what the people do not want.
Thank you.
UCDP, in order to resuscitate the municipalities that do have problems, will appoint the municipal managers that are well experienced and qualified. And it wouldn't go and take an MM who is involved in a fraudulent case from his municipality and plant him in another municipality to come and inject it or put it in order. And also, it will train its councillors and all other people dealing with finances in the municipality to follow the laws that are for use of funds of the government, including the MFMA, including the supply chain management, and then Structures Act municipality, as well as all other laws that we do have to run the finances of
my
municipalities.
answer to the question is, if you want to see a local community working well, on a well management, visit Orania. Even President Zuma visited Orania. And what did he say? He said he's amazed to see how well organized, how well managed Orania is, and it should be an example for the rest of South Africa. And that with a single cent of government. So visit them and see how local government should work.
Thank you. Professor?
Okay. If Trevor Manuel this week said that in fact we perform poorly as the government, even by our own standards, and all these people sit here, and the people of South Africa, and they listen to themselves, and they think by themselves, what are we experiencing on street level? Are we getting services? No, we don't. Are we getting water? Are we getting housing? We're sitting without housing. So vote for the DA, because the DA will make the difference, because where they govern with success.
I just want to say that in terms of the elections that are coming, to say to the parties that are here, to say they must make sure that they are accountable to the people that they are representing. We know that, Mr. Chairperson, that there were root causes of this distress, which is political infightings, policy and legislative factors in the ANC. So I just want to ask to say, what will this the turnaround strategy for the next elections? And for Ms. Matladi, I know that you are having internal fightings within the party too. So how will you address running the municipality too?
Now, Mr. Nwako, if you were to advise, I know that a lot gets directed at the ends, but if you were to advise opposition parties in particular, I'll say this in 10 seconds, what would you say to the political parties and ratepayers associations that are here? What should they do? What should be their role in ensuring that our municipalities do not stay in distress?
I think what should happen, as I said before, to say the only thing that is needed is an accountable and efficient, is good governance. We've been having a system, a system fail in terms of governance. So what I will advise the parties is to have an accountable and efficient state where people can have basic service deliveries, because all the people that they want basic service delivery, they don't want other things. Provide the people with basic services and will not have anything, this distress that we are having.
Thank you very much. I'm afraid that's where we're going to have to end it tonight. Join us next Sunday on SABC1, SAFM and SABCnews.com for the next debate in the series, brought to you by the SABC in association with the University of Johannesburg. Next week's topic is service delivery and protests. You can kickstart the debate with your questions and comments on SABCnews.com and on the Facebook page. Good night.